did it cost?
Everything.
So here I am, suffering from post-Chainsaw Man depression. I was thinking that everything that happened in the last part was going to be enough to prepare me for what happened in this part. That was not the case. You could even say I'm feeling a little bit like how the characters did after they got back from hell. I feel like I just went through a whole ordeal and I'm still in the process of recovering. So without further ado, let's talk about the last two parts of Chainsaw Man, those being the Gun Devil and the Control Devil arcs. So the first thing we see is the team recovering from the previous ordeal of going to hell and coming back. Power in particular is having a really hard time because she and the other fiends were almost directly targeted by the Darkness Devil, so she's having a bad time dealing with this PTSD. Can I just say, I loved Denji's character during this part. We have come a long way since the beginning, and now we're experiencing Denji being selfless. He's actually going a bit out of his way to help others, especially those that he considers his family. He's even offered the opportunity to have a one-on-one trip with Makima, and he denies it. He rejects it to stay home with Power and Aki. As is the norm of Chainsaw Man though, the rest and relaxation doesn't last long, and everybody is called into the office to go deal with the matter of the Gun Devil. But here's where the first of many twists happen. It's revealed that the Gun Devil has already been taken care of. It's revealed that some time ago, after the initial attacks that took out over 1 million people, the Gun Devil was split apart into multiple chunks, and now those different pieces are controlled by different nations around the world. So now instead of actually going to kill the Gun Devil, the mission is we're going to go retrieve parts of the Gun Devil from the other nations so that Japan can hold them like they're a weapon of mass destruction. Naturally, this is a bit upsetting to Aki, who really doesn't want to have to go through another ordeal like this and risk losing more friends and family members. This really shows that Aki has matured a lot as well, because if you remember, back at the beginning of the story, his single focus was, no matter what, I'm going to go on that mission to eliminate the Gun Devil, to avenge my brother. He's past all that now. He realized what's done is done, and while some revenge would be nice, it's not something he needs to continue living a fulfilling life. But just as we're getting this nice moment of Aki, it's revealed by the future devil that Aki is going to have a very unfortunate event happen to him in the near future, which is Denji apparently is going to kill him and Power. You best believe I so desperately did not want this to come to be the truth of the matter, but Chainsaw Man, why you gotta hurt me so bad? So the thing that really kicks off all of the crazy, wild stuff is when Maki reveals herself to be the Control Devil. So first off, this explains a lot of the weirder powers that she's showcased throughout the story. And second off, she then goes on to tie herself to Aki and Angel Devil and basically uses them as mindless slaves where she can use their powers to her own goals. So why on earth would she do this? Why is she gearing up ready for battle? Well, it turns out that the President of the United States of America has used their part of the Gun Devil and summoned it to go and attack Makima and whatever collateral damage it can cause. We are getting dangerously close to some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure levels of craziness right now. So anyways, Makima as the Control Devil uses her powers to take the powers of all the other agents and some of the devils that work for her and uses them to fight against the Gun Devil in a very epic way that unfortunately the conclusion of that gets finished off screen. And it's funny because all of this is happening while Denji and Power are just staying at home having a lazy morning. They're not even paying attention to anything else that's going on. But their lazy day gets interrupted all of a sudden by a knock at the door. So sometime between Makima starting her fight with the Gun Devil and this moment, apparently the Gun Devil was defeated, but weakened enough to where it could become a fiend and it takes over Aki's body. So the person at the front door is Aki as a gun fiend. And he just starts going crazy. Like, he's lost all sense of control. He just starts firing off some powers, and he is starting to kill a lot of innocent people. So with no other choice, Denji has to like jump into action and take down this fiend, his friend, before he can kill more people. And can I just say, the portrayal of Aki's death here is so touching and beautifully done by Fujimoto. I gotta give him huge props. We see from Aki's point of view that what he's actually seeing and experiencing is like an imaginary snowball fight of sorts. And so he just thinks he's fighting and playing in the snow, but he notices some small details like a very concerned look on Denji's face and other little things like that. But after we see Denji delivering the final blow, in Aki's mind, it's him just losing the snowball fight, and then he sees his dead brother show up. He finally, after so long, has been reunited with his brother. So while we know the truth, we know what actually happened, to Aki, he is finally able to find peace. He is finally able to set aside his quest for revenge, and he can just finally get what he wanted all along. So I gotta say, the Gun Devil arc really did not play out how I imagined it would, but I really enjoyed how it actually did play out. It toyed with my expectations a little bit and delivered some beautiful moments. It would have been nice to actually see the fight with the Gun Devil play out a little bit more, but you know, I get it, and I don't think this is the end of the Gun Devil either. Makima did say that the United States had control of about 20% of the Gun Devil, so I'm assuming what we saw is literally only a fraction of its full power. But like I said, it's kind of a minor gripe, and overall I really enjoyed this part of the story, and it really set us up for the final arc very well. In the aftermath of Aki's death, Denji is unsurprisingly quite upset. I would imagine killing your best friend would have that effect. So he ends up going to Makima and kind of confesses to her how stressed and unprepared he really is for the responsibility of some of these decisions that he's forced to make. So all this happens without him really knowing what was happening with the Gun Devil. Like, I don't even know if he knew the Gun Devil was defeated necessarily, or I think that was just something that was taken care of off screen. But yeah, but because of the way he's feeling, he goes to Makima and is like, you know what? I want you to help me and make my decisions. Can you just like tell me what to do, and I'll unconditionally follow your orders and give myself to you. So Makima, the Control Devil, of course, allows Denji to give up all of his control. And then that's when the doorbell rings. Every one of Denji's senses are like, don't touch that door, don't answer the door, stay as far away from it as you can. But he can't resist. He is commanded to go open the door. And when he does it, who is standing there but Little Miss Power? Makima gives her the finger pistols, one bang later, and Power is no longer with us. I can't lie to y'all, when I read this part, I had to set my book down. I had to go for a little walk, I had to relax, because I was like, man, this hurts. This hurt a lot. And unsurprisingly, Denji's like, what is happening? Am I dreaming? Is this real? Everything that has happened since the moment she met Denji has been a part of her master plan. Since first meeting Denji, she has wanted to break his spirit. She has wanted to do what she can to get him and Pochita to break their contract with each other so that she could have the chainsaw for herself. So she did what she could to make Denji feel like he's safe, like he has everything he needs. He's got food, a place to stay, friends, family, the whole works. Only to then crush his spirit and take everything in the most brutal of ways possible. And it's after this we get a little bit of exposition about why Makima wants the chainsaw so badly. So it turns out that the Chainsaw Devil has a very unique ability where if it consumes the flesh of a devil, anything associated with that devil is basically erased from existence. So she gives an example where the devil that got its powers from the horrific horrors of the Holocaust was eliminated. And now people don't remember that the Holocaust happened. It is canon that the Chainsaw Devil consumed the Nazi devil, and now nobody remembers World War II happened. We get a little bit of semblance of hope right after this when Kishibe shows up with his some other agents and a SWAT team, and they throw everything they can to stop Makima. I don't think they were fully ready for what was going to happen though, because then Makima calls upon the Chainsaw Devil for help, and so we see the true form of the Chainsaw Devil, and holy crap, is it badass. So what better showcase for the full potential of the Chainsaw Devil but then to have it fight against the actual Hell Devil that we were introduced to before, and Mr. Chainsaw proceeds to one-shot the Hell Devil. So I'm about to gloss over a couple of the specifics to get through the rest of the story, because there's a lot of little minute details I don't think are worth covering right now. So Chainsaw Man going a bit AWOL, and then meeting back up with Kobeni, and going to the restaurant to get some burgers, and then going out with her to get ice cream and play some DDR was one of the funniest things I have ever seen. Despite how grim and serious everything was, the fact that we just had like 2 chapters right here in the middle where it's like, yeah, Chainsaw Man and Kobeni, they're gonna go play some Dance Dance Revolution, was so good. But then we get this awesome scene with the Chainsaw Man fighting against not only all of the hybrid devils that we met earlier, but a couple of new ones. And of course, they're all based off of different weapons. Like there was a flamethrower, another sword guy, and a spear and stuff like that. But of course, before Kobeni can get taken out in the crossfire, Chainsaw Man ends up kind of sacrificing himself in a way. Which means it is time for the return of Best Girl. Because of some of Power's blood that Denji had drank earlier, Power is able to get revived, kind of. It's a little foggy. So Power manages to get Denji away from all the chaos going on, kind of get him back down to his human form, and makes him promise her something. She says, once this is all over, promise me you'll go seek out the Blood Devil and help me return to the form I once was. So if Denji having gotten away, he's able to spend a little bit of time formulating a plan of how he's actually going to take out Makima. So he lures Makima away out of the populated city area out to a little graveyard, which was a really interesting setting. And it's there where a decoy Chainsaw Man actually does battle with Makima in a very choreographed and very artistically done way. Only for the real Denji to creep up out of the background and get Makima while she wasn't expecting it. Can I just say, Fujimoto subtly foreshadowing this by having like the backside of Denji's head show up in a couple of panels like a chapter or 2 before this was brilliant. And so because of Makima's bullish nature of focusing so heavily on the Chainsaw Man and ignoring anything having to do with Denji, he uses that to his advantage to actually get the upper hand against her. So then Denji does such a Denji thing, and he performs the ultimate ritual of flexing over his opponent. He takes the flesh of the Control Devil, cooks it up, and has himself a nice fancy meal. It is through this method that he's able to circumvent some of the very technical loopholes that were put in place to prevent Makima from dying, and so Makima is no more. As for the Control Devil though, it gets reborn into a new vessel, this being a young girl named Naoto. So while she is the Control Devil, she doesn't have the memories of Makima, and she doesn't necessarily have the same exact drive and purpose as Makima. So before we actually close out the story for good, the last thing we see is a little jump forward, I believe, where Denji continues to be a hero to the people. He continues to use his power of the Chainsaw Man for good. And thus, part 1 of Chainsaw Man comes to a close. Everything we've experienced so far may have been a prologue, but it does a very good job of setting up this world for an interesting series of events to happen next. Denji's journey from becoming a worthless nobody to a noble hero of the people was something remarkable to see. His journey was paved by many tragic events and losses, but from there, his resolve and determination only grew stronger. Makima being this master orchestra of all these events, while not unsurprising by any means, it was pretty well done, and I thought she was a very menacing villain that suited this story very well. So all in all, while I really enjoyed a lot of what I read here, I'm almost more excited for what's to come next. I mean, we still have the devils of the primal fears out there, and we still have the four horsemen of the apocalypse that were mentioned. So those are going to be some things to deal with. And we also have the request of power to come down to hell and help the blood devil out. At this moment, Fujimoto is enjoying a very well-deserved rest and break from being a weekly manga writer. And I believe part 2 is actually going to be published monthly. So that'll be very nice. You know, good on him. He deserves it. But with that, we close the book on another adventure here on the Learning Kyle channel. Last week, I put a poll up on the YouTube channel community tab asking you guys what series you would like to see me review next. And I believe the winner was Hunter x Hunter, unless that changed in the last 24 hours from recording. I'll probably put a picture of the final results. So get ready for that, guys. While I prepare for that review series to begin, make sure you do the YouTube thing. You hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what your favorite part of Chainsaw Man is. But until then, I have been Learning Kyle, and remember, be kind to others, and have yourselves a great rest of your day. Take care. I would like to give a big shout out to the channel members, McTwisty, Wondersoul, Laura, Dario, and the Maestro Plays. Thank you so much for the support, everybody.